You are now listening to the Q&E Podcast.
Is this what you want? Huh? Is this what you want? I'm trying to get it, goddammit!
What's up, everybody? You're listening to the Q&E Podcast, and you're here with your boy Q Hicks right now. And I got Edgar on the other line. Edgar, tell the people what's good.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the podcast. Today, we are reviewing Ms. Marvel episode 1, and this episode is titled Generation Y. And this is one of the new superheroes that we're gonna get accustomed to seeing. Y'all, if y'all haven't checked out our Moon Knight reviews, check out that. We got Thor coming up in July, so we're gonna get a new villain with Thor. But this show right here is highlighting one of the new Avengers that we're gonna get used to seeing over the next couple of years. Ms. Marvel, a Pakistani American superhero, which we've never had before. I had to get used to seeing some of the references that they had with all of the Muslim stuff and everything. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that in a Disney show or a movie. So that was cool to see them going into a whole new culture.
Yeah, and I like what Marvel is doing with that, bro. Just diving into every race and every race like that. I think that's cool because they're so big. They're capable of doing it. A lot of these other businesses, a lot of these other companies cannot. Like they got to stick to the rule book. But Marvel is so big at this point that nobody really cares as long as they make an excellent product. And we know what we're going to get with Marvel at this point. So no matter what it is, no matter if it goes against what the comics had, it's like if it's going to be great, we don't care. And they keep giving us like those type of characters on screen. Like that's big, especially for those cultures. The Pakistani, and we just got Shang-Chi with the Chinese or the Asian community. Like that's big for those communities to actually have somebody that they can point to. Same thing with us with Black Panther. When we seen Black Panther, you already know what type of fanfare was around that movie. So it's the same thing. So I'm glad that everybody can have that type of experience when encountering with these shows. So that's definitely some dope shit.
Yeah, I loved it. And it was one thing that I had to get used to. And it was just the cultural differences that Pakistani people have, probably just Muslim people in general, you know, regardless of what race you are. Anybody who practices Islam and anybody who's actually, you know, Pakistani or Indian or any type of race like that, because the way her parents were acting, the way Kamala's parents were acting with her throughout the whole show, I'm like, damn, like y'all are so strict. But I had to really think about it. I'm like, I've actually seen parents be like that with their
sure.
Kids, like, whether it's Asian parents or Indian parents. And it felt stereotypical at first, but sometimes those stereotypes be true as hell. Like, no, just do your schoolwork. Like, just go to class, come home, and be a good girl. Like that's all you're supposed to do. You're not supposed to chase your dreams. You ain't supposed to be trying to do this. I was like, damn, like, bro, her mama was so cold-hearted.
That's how it really is for a lot of people that come from overseas, because they try to stay low key because they so used to it. A lot of them are come from immigrant families, so you try to keep it low key. Like you trying to get a high profile, you trying to chase your dreams. It's like you drawing a little too much attention to us. You don't know what could happen when you talk about the immigration services. So hey, let's keep it low key. Obviously, that's probably not the situation that happened here. They're probably from America and all that. But I'm just saying that's why a lot of them people like to keep it low key, keep it strict, keep it simple. Like go in this direction. So yeah, it's just dope to see like other nationalities and other races. That's definitely dope. But you want to know the first thing I realized about this show, bro? And it was toward the end of the episode. So we skipping all the way to the end. And it goes back to what we said in the Doctor Strange 2 movie about America Chavez, bro. And how after 10 years, she did not know how to use her powers. Tell me why within 5 minutes, bro, Miss Marvel know how to use her shit. She's saving lives with the Mr. Fantastic hand. Come on, bro. This is why I was mad in the Doctor Strange 2. How this girl been in the multiverse for 10 years, don't know how to use her shit. All she had to do was punch. And this girl, after 5 minutes, already doing the little icicle shit. And she doing the Mr. Fantastic. Come on, that shit don't even make sense logically, bro. So that's all I'm saying, bro. It's just weird when you look at Doctor Strange 2 and then you look at this show.
They definitely dropped the ball with America Chavez. Like I can't even go against what you're saying right now. But it was cool to see her. I thought she was gonna have 2 of those wrist thingies, but apparently she only has 1. And that felt weird to me. I just felt like it needed to be symmetrical. I feel like she needed 2, but 1 is fine, I guess, as long as she got the powers at the end of the day. Just to give a quick synopsis of what the show was about. Kamala is a superhero fan with an imagination, particularly when it comes to Captain Marvel. So she's a Captain Marvel super stan.
But she's an Avenger super fan too.
Right. And Kamala feels like she doesn't fit in at school and sometimes even at home. That is until she gets superpowers like the heroes she's looked up to. So this is basically like Quincy just said, she's an Avenger, super fanatic. She's a true Captain Marvel stan. She dives into researching and podcasting about these superheroes and whatnot. So she's really like us, but she's out here really trying to be a superhero.
Facts. She got her own YouTube channel. She only had a little 5 subscribers, but that's just dope to see, especially when you're young like that, getting started, especially when you're chasing your dreams and you actually looking up to those type of people.
Right.
That's dope. Because I feel like we haven't really seen enough of the people in the community. What's their point of view when they have superheroes flying around them all the time? Like, what is their perspective? Do they look up to them, or do they like kind of despise them because they keep fucking up their world? Like, this nigga, they always destroying the New York City. Like, they always destroying this. Like, do they look up to them, or do they be like, man, y'all always fucking up some shit? Like, I always wonder how like the other people in that community like view them. So it's just funny to see that she looks up to them like that. Because I know there's other people in there that like they don't fuck with them.
Her parents, I'm sure they're looking at it like, no, you looking at up to these people that are destroying everything and just going against their principles of being good human beings and whatnot. And she, as a kid, she's looking at it like, yeah, it's scary that there's villains out there, but we got all these superheroes to say today, like, this shit is cool. So in her mind, it's like, wow, like, we actually reading comics about the people we're actually seeing saving the world. So I like her viewpoint, because let Iron Man start flying around here, I'm going crazy.
Facts. But when he tear your house down, then you're gonna have another perspective on that thing, Iron Man.
I see. I'm an adult now, so I'm gonna be pissed now, because they'll be like, damn, who I gotta pay for rent now? Now I gotta get FEMA to help me out and whatnot. But
bro, these are the questions that we need answered, bro. That's why I want to show about everybody else in the Marvel community, like the regular person. How did they deal with the shit that happens in the MCU, bro? Because there got to be some annoying shit. Like, bro, I just bought this house and then they come through, fuck my whole shit up. Do I have insurance, or I just gonna be like, they gotta have Avengers insurance at this point?
Oh yeah, of course. Insurance. It's probably
like, ain't no way. Ain't no way. Bro, my instant reaction from this show, bro, I loved episode 1. Completely loved it. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it so much, honestly. I thought she was going to be way younger than what she actually is. I thought she was going to be in like middle school, and it turns out being 16. So that's like the perfect age, Spider-Man type age, when he started getting involved with Iron Man. So I'm like, okay, that honestly is like a perfect transition. So she can go off and do anything at this point after she graduates, lives this double life. She can go off with Captain Marvel. She can go off with Photon and do whatever she wants to. So I'm glad that she's older than what I expected. And it's such a different show than what we've gotten so far with Disney Plus. All of these other shows are more so about anti-heroes, WandaVision, you got the Moon Knights, we had the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but it just feels so different, so light compared to everything else. It feels like a Spider-Man. It feels like a Spider-Man version of a show, like a cosmic Spider-Man. Like, you can really like grab.
I was thinking more so of Hawkeye, because Hawkeye was different like this too. It was more, you had the villain that you were going up against.
But I wasn't grabbed attention-wise. I wasn't grabbed by Hawkeye like I was with the show.
It didn't grab the attention like Ms. Marvel is grabbing, but it, in essence, to what you're saying of, this is different from the whole anti-hero thing. Like with Hawkeye, it was like a new hero emerging and going under the wing of the previous hero. And in this show, I don't think she's necessarily going to come under the wing of Captain Marvel. She's just going to be following in her footsteps in a sense. And it's more lighthearted. This episode had a lot of comedy. I don't know if all of these episodes are going to make you laugh like this, but I feel like this show could be aiming towards, it'll give us a break from all the seriousness we've been getting so far, because WandaVision, serious as hell, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, serious as hell, Loki, even Hawkeye had a few laughs, but Hawkeye was pretty serious towards the end. So I think this is going to be the first show where we get like a break from all the seriousness. I think She-Hulk will give us a break from that too. True. I think She-Hulk will provide a lot of laughs.
That looks adult funny too. That actually looks adult funny. So I know that show is definitely going to deliver too. Yeah, so I definitely rock with this show. Like I said, I just compare it to Spider-Man living a double life. You're young,
Yeah.
it's going through the relatable problems. But this is another question I had about like this trope of the 16-year-old getting powers, and then boom, they were an outcast at one point, and now they have powers. Why do we never see like the popular kid like get powers and go, and then he starts to go through troubles and something like that? We never see that storyline. Like we always see it's an outcast or somebody who got bullied and then he gets powers, and it's like we've seen that trope so many times. Why don't y'all spin it with like a popular kid gets it and his life turns upside down because he's used to one thing, and it's like now he feels like an outcast because now like weird stuff is happening to him in class, and now people are looking at him differently. Like I feel like that would be such a different way to look at it than just the outcast or the weird girl in the corner getting powers. Like let it be a popular person and then flip it on his head.
I don't know if I would want it to be a popular person, because the narrative that shows and movies always make with popular people is they're rude, they're mean, they just think they're better than everyone else.
But
so
I feel
you would
like
have to get a really humble popular kid.
Yeah. But I think the powers could high key humble you, because now you see how the weird people, you see how they became an outcast, and you see like, damn, you kind of get humbled by the powers in a way, I would feel. Because like now you get looked at as weird because weird stuff is happening to you, and you start to understand the weird person that you've been bullying this whole time. So now your attitude changes, and now you're no longer like the popular kid that you once were. Now you understand both sides because you've been popular, and now you're weird. So now you're not the same old person that you used to be. Your attitude has completely changed. I just think it will be something different, because in every superhero movie, when you're young, I feel like it's an outcast becoming a superhero.
Well, I mean, nah, Iron Man ain't become a superhero until he got older. But Iron Man was always cool. Like Tony Stark was always a cool ass dude. He was cool. He had money. He had hoes. Like he just didn't become a superhero until he got older.
Yeah.
But
like,
he's like, one of the few. He's one of the few.
But I feel like just like Kate Bishop, she was more so like the weird girl. She did archery. Like she wasn't nobody cool. You know what I'm saying? She was more so like an outcast. She ended up linking up with Hawkeye. Now she's leveling up, and now she's a part of the Avengers now. Like I feel like it's always the outcast. And I just feel like it would be better if we just switched it up a little bit, Marvel.
And they didn't make Spider-Man this this Tom Holland Spider-Man that we've had for the last few years. If you notice, he's not really an outcast like we're used to seeing with Spider-Man.
In that first movie, they showed him as an outcast. He was a weird dude.
I don't think so.
They showed him as a weird dude.
He was weird, but he was still accepted by a lot of people at the same time. I think Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield, they faced a lot more social life adversity than Tom Holland.
Wasn't he getting bullied in the first one? Or like...
Nah, I mean, they're always going to make the Flash character an asshole.
Yeah.
But outside of that Flash character for Tom Holland, they were both on the debate team. Like it was easy as hell for him to get MJ. Like this Spider-Man.
But that's because MJ was weird too, though.
And that's the thing. Like they're making. I think they're starting to make weird, quote unquote, more relatable days time to where you're not looked at as an outcast anymore. You're not looked at as the lame, nerdy kid anymore. Everybody's nerds now. Everybody's smart now. It's just you're either an asshole and you're smart, or you're accepting of everybody of who they are. Which they're making less assholes now.
That's true. I just think it would be cool if they switched it up a little bit. Like you said, other than Iron Man, I really can't think of somebody who was cool that became like a superhero like that. Like especially young. If you're young, you were somebody weird, bro. And to have actual superpowers, you are a weirdo, bro. So it's like I just would like to see it switch up. But
or an orphan.
Why did that pop in your head?
I don't know. I heard somebody say that, bro. It's like it's always the weird person or somebody who.
Oh, you talking about they making a movie about an orphan? Oh, okay, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like the people who get superpowers or become superheroes, they're either orphans, they're weird people, they're nerds. Like it's always the most extreme case scenario.
That's a good point. Because I was just watching something recently. Damn, bro, what was I watching? And dude was an orphan and got taken in by a family, and he became a superhero. But I don't forget what movie that was. But but like you said, I agree with that completely. But damn. But this is what I want to say too, though, bro. I don't want to get too hyped off the first episode. And that's why I was kind of like holding my feelings back. Because like I said, I love the first episode, but I was like, I love the first episode of Moon Knight, and look how that turned out.
We see how this went, bro. We will see how this went.
So I'm trying to hold back my feelings because this seems like it's going to be good. It's going to be light. It's going to be fun. I'm already engaged with the character, but it's like I don't want to get my feelings too high because I've seen how this really goes for real. But I think this will end up being a pretty good show at the end.
Because I wasn't too impressed with episode 1. Episode 1 was lighthearted. It was funny. It was different than the last few shows that we've gotten from Marvel so far. But I think what's keeping me from, like you said, the episode 1 with Moon Knight gave us way more than what we ended up getting in totality. But I just didn't give too much thought to episode 1. So I think that's why I wasn't too impressed by it. Because the whole time I was sitting there watching, I'm like, I don't give a damn how good this shit is. It's not going to be this good the whole show. And I think that messed up my perception on what the rest of the show is going to be. But I'm not going to let it mess it up. For episode 1, I give it like a 7 out of 10. It was solid. I love the different perspective from a different culture. I love, like you said, how they made her a age where it's like she's young, but she's in that young Avengers age range to where she's not like the baby of the group or anything like that.
And I keep wanted to ask you about that too, bro. It's like, where is her trajectory really taking her? Because a lot of people do not have a reference to Miss Marvel, so a lot of people really haven't read the comics or know what's going to happen with the storyline. So is she bigger than Young Avengers? Because I feel like she could be up there helping like Captain Marvel on the cosmic level, where she's higher than like the Hawkeye, or she's higher than the Kid Loki. She's higher than everybody else that she could possibly be encountering with, because she's cosmic, bro. That's like high key different.
I think she could be on that level, but I think she'll choose to stay on the ground level and just be one of the stronger people on the ground level. I think that's the role she'll choose to have, as long as Captain Marvel is alive anyway. As long as Captain Marvel is alive, she'll handle all the space stuff with Sword and Nick Fury and all that. And then on Earth, doing the groundwork, I'll say that'll be what Kamala does.
Because with so much going on with the Eternals, and Guardians of the Galaxy is going to hit on some more people that's going on in the sky. Thor is going to hit on more people, more villains in the sky. It's like it's a lot of things going on in the outside world, like in space, that need to be handled. Like, so will they just use her talents like in the worldly point of view, or will they actually use it on a cosmic perspective? I wouldn't be mad if they use it on a cosmic. Because they're going to need a lot of hands on deck, bro. If you got to deal with Galactus, you got to deal with Gore probably going to die in Thor, but you got to deal with the Eternals. You got to deal with the people that the Eternals messing with. It's a lot of people that you got to deal. Who was in Guardians of the Galaxy 2, bro? And they was the gold people. The gold people in
Guardians the gold people. I forgot their names, but I know what you're talking about.
It started with an S, but they were making something at the end of the Guardians Galaxy 2. They were making Adam Warlock. So I don't know if Adam Warlock.
That's what they were.
Yeah. So I don't know if Adam Warlock. He turns out to be good, but he starts off as a villain. So if he's a villain, like he's somebody who's going to be outer space. So will they need help with handling him, or will Captain Marvel just be handling all of this? So I don't know.
Some people that I've seen connected to Miss Marvel's name are like the Inhumans. I've seen Wolverine attached to her name, so maybe they can pull like whatever X-Men stuff we get in the future. Maybe she could be, thrown in some of those movies or shows or whatever. But then again, like I said, that's more so on Earth. Yeah. And anything that happens on Earth, we're just going to refer to as groundwork at this point, because they can do so much stuff in outer space and in different universes and all that. So I'll say anything on Earth is groundwork at this point. So X-Men, Inhumans, like mutants in general, I think that's where she'll collide with.
And the reason she's connected to the Inhumans is because that's where her powers originally came from in the comics. It came from like a Terrigen Mist, which is in the Inhumans comics, and she was a part of that team. That's how she got her powers at first. But you see in the show, she has the bracelet, which is a family bracelet. So that possibly could mean that her mom has powers. That could mean that her grandma, that her mom kept referencing throughout the first episode, could have powers. Because I felt like throughout the episode, the mom was like very aggravated about like the family thing. Like, the family, they so aggravating. Oh, your grandma, she had to decide between the fantasy world or living in real life. So that felt like a huge theme. And then she asked Kamala at the end, do you want to be the person whose head in the sky, or do you want to be on the ground with everybody else? And you see at the end, Kamala says she want to be cosmic. Like, and you see
that's a good
dichotomy. Yeah.
And I think the reason, and I agree with your point of maybe the mom didn't want to have, this is my take. I think the mom didn't want to have powers, and I think she knows what the bracelet stands for, because early in the episode, she took the bracelet from her and she said, don't worry about it. So maybe her mom saw her grandma do whatever powers the bracelet gives, and maybe she grew up saying, I'm not going to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be involved in that life. Because you see late in the episode when Kamala really starts experiencing the powers, she goes in different dimensions. And I think that's what her mom keeps referencing throughout the show. Mm-hmm. You're trying to live in this fantasy world. The fantasy isn't good for you. You need to be in the real world. And I think she keeps calling it fantasy because maybe she's seen how her grandma went in different dimensions.
Yes.
And how that negatively affected her. So I think that's what she's trying to keep Kamala away from. But Kamala said, bump that. I'm going to do this anyway.
Or maybe it didn't negatively affect her. Well, but maybe she stayed in that dimension for too long. Maybe she was away from her kids longer than what she should have been, or something like that. Because you see, it was some sort of like animosity between the mom of Kamala and the mother of her, like the grandma. It was some sort of animosity there that, like, maybe it was like, yeah, you didn't pay attention to the mom growing up or something like that. And that's why you don't want Kamala going down the same path. And maybe the mom has even seen it herself, where she has worn the bracelet. She has been to the other dimension, but she chose to go with reality because she wanted a family or something along those lines. Like, it could have been something like that where she has the powers. Because I don't know if you remember the scene, bro, but it was the scene where she ended up coming back to the crib with Kamala. She ended up getting Bruno some food, and she came back in like 5 seconds. I was like, damn. And Bruno even said, like, how you got the food that fast? So it's like, did she already have powers, or does she already have powers now? Does she still have powers to get?
That's a good question.
Because that was too quick. That was too quick. Who gets food ready that fast, bro? Like, do you have some powers that nobody knows about? And you telling, but maybe she stays in reality way more than what her grandma, and she doesn't want Kamala to go down that same path. But maybe she still does have powers, though.
Damn, I didn't even think about it. I didn't pay attention to that.
Because that was too fast, bro. That was too fast. It was like 10 seconds. She was back out with the food. It was all plated up in Tupperware. I was like, hold on, bro. Hold on. That was way too quick. That was way too quick. Somebody has to stop that right there, bro. It was 10 seconds and nobody wanted to say anything. Nah, bro, she got some powers too, bro. Maybe she has like maybe it's another form of heirloom that was passed down. That's something separate than the bracelet. Maybe it's something else that the mom always wears just in case something happens that she needs to use her powers. You know what I'm saying? Because the mom didn't seem surprised when Kamala jumped through the window and she had the powers. Because I don't know if the mom's seen the powers though.
No, she didn't see that. She just saw
okay. I was about to say, because I was like, the mom didn't seem surprised when she came through the window because there wasn't any tree there for her to climb up. So how else did she get up there? So she really didn't question it. She was just mad at her ass when she walked in. Yeah, but that was something I was thinking about. Like, maybe she was used to people having powers, so she's not really surprised now.
Oh no, all she saw was her walk through the window. She didn't see her get up on the roof and use her powers to push herself up and none of that. She ain't seen none of that. Plus, she had that mom rage in her eyes. She didn't give a damn what she saw at that point. Just why are you late?
She did it at all, bro. She didn't at all. And I rock with that dude Bruno too. I feel like every one of these characters has to have a cooler sidekick. I feel
you gotta have that smart dude in the
you gotta have that cooler sidekick. He could end up being the one that makes her costumes, makes gadgets for her, stuff like that. So that's a dope sidekick to have for sure. And he was somebody who really wasn't surprised. He really like just rolled with it quickly. Like, he wasn't somebody who was like, damn, like he was sitting there in awe. Like, he was like, oh, you got powers? Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta get out of here. It's like, damn, okay. You just roll along with anything, I guess. That joke was dope. That joke was dope for sure.
A question I had though was, I seen on the cast list there was somebody named Red Dagger, so I'm assuming that's gonna be the antagonist of this show. Because I was trying to look up who the villain could be, and I didn't want to spoil anything for myself. Because shout out to new rock stars, but I be scared to read anything nowadays. Because people be telling the whole show, and I don't want to know the whole show off of one episode. So I'm really trying not to read too much into it, but I'm assuming Red Dagger is going to be the antagonist.
Possibly. And I was wondering who would be a good villain for her because she's so young. You don't want to throw nobody too big at her, especially for her first challenge. So it's like, who can she really fight? So I don't know who this Red Dagger is. I don't know if you can look up if he has some sort of background to him.
Well, they said in the comics, they said on Marvel.com, like she went against Hydra. Like her character is known for going against Hydra a lot.
Hydra? Is Hydra even around anymore?
I'm sure there's still Hydra people.
Doesn't Val work for Hydra? Val, who was the Dark Avengers.
Yeah, she was Hydra.
Possibly. Especially if they about to go up against the Dark Avengers, especially if she's a part of the Young Avengers, that would make sense if she goes up against Hydra, like I said.
So I don't know if this Red Dagger person is going to be Hydra, but in the comics anyway, like she went against Hydra a few times, so.
And that was her main villain? Like, who else was like her main
I don't know if that was her main villain, but I seen Hydra name first, and I seen them for like 2 paragraphs. So I was like, oh, this must be who she fight most of the time. So
yeah, that was my main question too. I don't know who's going to be her main villain. I don't know who's a good person that you can pair with. I feel like it would be dope if it was like another young person that she could fight with. That, you know what I'm saying, that it can really battle it out at the end of the day, and not somebody that's older than her from another dimension or some shit like that. I wish it was somebody that they're on the same playing field, both of y'all getting powers at the same time, and then y'all go head up. I feel like that would be some dope shit. I know they're not gonna go that way, and I don't know what this other dimension is. I was hearing that the other dimension that she ended up slipping into could be the ancestral plane. It could be another dimension. Like, I just don't know what it is, because we've seen in Moon Knight, we've seen in Black Panther that the ancestral plan has been referenced so much. And for the Pakistanis and for this family bloodline, that could possibly have been her ancestral plan right there, where she could see like the past Miss Marvels in her family bloodline. So that could have been.
Yeah, I keep seeing Hydra pop up. I don't see no other name right now.
Hydra. If you legit, I don't know why you worried about Hydra. Like, so if something had to have happened to you, if you worried about like a big bad, like some Hydra, bro.
Hydra probably worried about her. She probably worried about that shit.
Cause I don't know. Cause do you think the girl that she had beef with and she ended up saving at the end of the episode, do you think she will end up finding out that was Kamala? And do you think she could be somebody that causes a villain to pop up out of nowhere? It's like, oh, she ended up telling somebody that Kamala is Miss Marvel, and she tells somebody, and now they want to take Kamala down.
She doesn't give me that vibe. She just gives me the pretty high school popular girl. Like, she doesn't give me like helping the villain at all in any of this. I feel like she'll be a character that's just in the way that Kamala has to deal with at high school.
You gotta hide. You
gotta hide who you are from this person. So I think she'll be that, but I don't think she'll be somebody that finds out her identity and try to tell the villain about her identity, or I don't know. I hope they don't do that, because she's a character they don't need to dive into.
Man, I'm tired of people living double lives, bro, hiding their life, bro. Like my nigga Cat Williams said, if I'm better than you, I'm going to say I'm better than you. And I'm going to let you niggas know that I'm better than you. I'm walking around like I'm the hot shit. And I feel like one of the few people that really lived out loud was Iron Man. Even though Iron Man was grown as hell, obviously he had his own money and shit. It was like, damn, I wish these people they could just live out loud, bro, and didn't have to hide themselves. And once again, every trope they're hiding. Why can't they just be like, I'm Miss Marvel, bro? We just found out that Peter Parker was Spider-Man. It was like, that was some dope shit. Seeing how people turned on him when he was viewed as a superhero for years. So I think that's such a dope perspective. I don't know if people would have turned on her, because now you've gone through that Peter Parker situation. Would you turn on somebody who's helping the neighborhood, helping the community like that? I don't know. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question, bro. I don't know.
because nobody really remembers the Peter Parker thing anymore. So that's not even in
that's
Marvel
true.
people's heads. So it's like this is a whole new situation of somebody living out loud. So, like I said, especially with because I don't know if the Sokovian Accords are still in effect.
I forgot all about that too.
Yeah, I feel like they never bring that up anymore. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that's still a thing, but I feel like that could be something that comes up too. If she does have to like announce herself, like, oh, you're Kamala Khan, like, oh, you stay in Jersey City.
Speaking of the Sokovian Accords, what's his name? Who played the Attorney General?
Oh, Thaddeus Ross. He died. Yeah,
he died. So, and he
they
hasn't
won't have
been
Val
mentioned
as the
in
number
anything.
one.
That's what I'm saying. They haven't mentioned him in any of this Marvel stuff recently. Like, I don't think they've mentioned him in any shows or anything. So, is he a character that blipped away and then came back? And since he's dead in real life now, like, are they? Of course, they're gonna just kill his character off. But I wonder how they're gonna do that. I wonder how they're gonna bring back up his character, because I don't think we could just never bring up Thaddeus Ross ever again.
I think that power would just be shifted down to Val. Oh, she will be the head in line, because we were kind of already predicting it with she's connected to Thaddeus Ross. Oh, we're going to get a Thunderbolts because he's Thunderbolt Ross in the comics. We already seen it building up, but instead of having to reveal him, it's just going to be like Val is the leader that you have to answer to now. It's nobody else that's over her, because she never mentioned Thaddeus Ross. She never mentioned that it was the Thunderbolts team. So you never knew he was there. It was just going to be a reveal down the line. But since he has passed away, it's just going to be like, oh, okay, everybody's just going to team up under me and I'm the leader now. Like Abomination, the John Walker, Captain America, Yelena Belova, all of them would just go down her way with no actual leader over Val at this point.
True.
Yeah.
And it was another question I had. Let's go ahead and for my question, let's go ahead and jump to the post-credit scene. I don't know who these agency people are that are looking for Kamala. That was a terrible post-credit scene. That's one thing I did not like. They didn't give it was like 2 minutes, not even 2 minutes. It was like a minute even. Yeah, I can't even say over a minute. It was just two people that looked at a phone and they were like, oh yeah, we gotta find her. And then they just walked off and the screen went black. Yeah. Like, we didn't get to see any special symbols anywhere. We didn't get to see what lab they were in for real. It's just two random people that seen Kamala on the phone and they're like, yeah, we gotta go get her. So I don't know who these people are. I don't know what agency they're a part of.
Once again, if you say they're going up against Hydra, then could be someone connected to Hydra at that point.
They ain't look like no Hydra shit though. It didn't look intimidating at all. It looked like people in the office that just see Kamala on their phone.
They want to experiment on her and shit.
Yeah, like it ain't look like no Hydra shit.
Yeah, I don't know who they were at the end, bro. Like I said, I'm totally new to the Miss Marvel character, so I don't know anything when it comes to villains, who she could be encountering down the line. Like I said, I just like episode 1, and I know down the line that she will encounter Captain Marvel, Photon, Maria Rambeau down the line. So I think that's gonna be dope. When do you think she will come up? Because I know she's gonna come up because we do have the Marvels movie coming up. I think next year or in 2 years or something. Like
I want to say it's 2022 now. I think it come out next year.
So it comes out next. So it comes out next year. So obviously she's gonna encounter Captain Marvel. Do you think she shows up in the actual finale, or do you think she shows up earlier than that?
Captain Marvel herself. I don't think we'll get a Captain Marvel cameo in this show. I can see us getting Maria Rambeau. I can get us seeing her again, because we ain't seen her since WandaVision. So we could definitely get a cameo of her in this one, and we might even get a look into the Skrulls, because we haven't seen the Skrulls since WandaVision 2, and that could be a hint towards something we'll see in Secret Invasion or something like that. So I think that'll be my biggest prediction. We'll get a Maria Rambeau and a Skrull cameo in this show.
And what if the people at the end were like Kree scientists, and they wanted to find her to take her down because they don't want her to be a part of Captain Marvel's crew, because obviously the Kree are their enemy at this point. So maybe that was some Kree scientists like, we got to find her. We got to take her down. So that's probably who it was, bro. And I would be looking out for Skrulls too, because once again, we're getting closer to that Secret Invasion too. We're getting closer and closer to that date, because that's what, the back end of the year, I want to say. That's back end of the year with Samuel L. Jackson.
now that we've got the She-Hulk date, the Secret Invasion date should be coming soon after.
Yep. And something else I really love, bro. The animation quirks, like the animation in the background, like the Captain Marvel like cartoon flying when she was looking at the sky and like the city layout. That was dope. It honestly reminded me of Woke, bro. But it wasn't like any inanimate object like talking to her and shit like that. But it really reminded me of Woke, how you have like the cartoons flying around. Because obviously, I'm forgetting my man, Lamar Morris's character in Woke is like an artist and shit. So it's like the same thing here.
And
so
like the text messages, like you'll see a text message pop up in the sky or on the ground or something. Like I was like, that's dope as hell.
And yeah, you see how
a way to keep you engaged.
Exactly. You see how the letters popped up on the street. It was letters that the emojis popped up on like the sign in the restaurant. I was like, that's creative, bro. That's creative from Marvel, bro. So it's just some different shit that I like that we really haven't gotten in other shows. But that's everything that I've honestly had for this episode. Or how did the bracelet get powered up? But I think we already said it was like past, like it was family shit. But how did it start though?
Oh, you mean like the history of it?
That's how would it start up? Are they gonna roll with the Inhumans, Terrigen Mist shit? Or are they gonna go with like it was some Kree Marvel type shit that got it to where it is today?
That's the only explanation that makes sense because of the fact that it's cosmic energy. That's the only thing that I can think of. So
yeah, because I'm only entertaining the Inhumans one because we just seen Black Bolt. So I'm like, are they trying to incorporate them into the MCU now? Maybe she can be one of the Inhumans, but I think they're just gonna stick with the Kree Marvel thing and just ride on with that because that's what actually makes sense to us. You can't throw in no Inhuman shit, and it's like, damn, that honestly throw a curveball into the entire equation. So just keep it simple, and that honestly will do well.
We haven't had anything new from Inhumans. What that was like 2018, I think, the last time that was on television or something.
It was that show. Yeah,
it was a TV show like like what you call it, Agents of Shield. So
yeah, I've only seen clips, but you see how Marvel is like incorporating all of that into the MCU now. That's why I said I just can't be surprised at this point. Agents of Shield has been incorporated. They said that's MCU canon. We see that all of these Netflix shows are becoming canon with the Daredevil. I'm hearing that Jessica Jones. I'm hearing that Luke Cage. Like all of these people are going to be incorporated into the MCU now. So what you've seen on Netflix and it was connected to Marvel, that will be inside the MCU. And I would love to see Jessica Jones. That's somebody else I fuck with who was really close to Daredevil.
Luke Cage, bro. Damn, that was like what, 3-4 years ago now?
That was like 5 years ago. That was like 2017. Damn, that was a minute ago, bro.
Bro, time fly, bro. Cause it felt like I just watched Luke Cage the other day. That was years ago. That's crazy.
That was years ago, bro. But yeah, bro, that's everything I got for this episode. I honestly don't have any predictions. Obviously, I think Kamala's gonna get hunted down. She's gonna try to figure out more of her powers because I feel like it's more that she can do other than what we have seen than the icicle and with the Fantastic Four
too. She can
shapeshift too.
She can morph into, I don't know what she can morph into, but that's a power she has too.
Oh wow! See, I didn't even know that. So look, there's more things that we're gonna find out about Kamala, and also the people are obviously gonna be tracking her down. So those are like the two plot lines I can see. Everything else, I would really don't know.
My biggest prediction, like I said, I think we're gonna get Monica Rambeau and some type of Skrull cameo in this show. Other than that, like Quincy said, I don't got too much. I just want to see them dive into her powers a lot more since she's very enthusiastic about learning these powers, unlike America Chavez. I'm ready to get a lot of CGI with her superpowers, and I hope they dive into the different dimensions that she'll go into and stuff. And I hope they don't just like fly past it or none of that. Because we see in episode 1, she just went for like half a second and then came back. She didn't even know where she was. So I hope she's able to actually go through there and see whatever she sees.
They're definitely going to dive into the history. There's no way you can give us that purple dimension. And then there was multiple heads back there too. It's like a lot of people have been a part of this bloodline. So yeah, you just can't show us that and then not show us that no more. That's gonna play a big part for sure. And how many episodes? I'm kind of trying to look up how many episodes this show.
I think
it's 6 episodes. Damn, this feel like it's gonna be something longer than that. That's crazy.
Because this episode was 50 minutes. I doubt
I didn't expect this episode. I didn't expect this show to be as long as it was, bro.
I'm assuming this is gonna be 6 episodes.
Yeah, it is 6 episodes concluding on July 13th. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yeah. So damn, because that's gonna be right before Thor comes out. Because Thor comes out July,
Thor comes out
mid-July.
before that.
Thor comes out before that.
July 8th.
Oh, go. Damn. Okay, yeah. That shit high key work then. All right, that worked for me. All right, bro. Yeah, you can hit up with the social media.
You can follow us on Twitter at QE Podcast 1. You can follow us on Instagram at QANDE Podcast. You can follow and like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube at Q&E Podcast. And our Gmail is QANDEpodcast@gmail.com.
Yes, sir. And definitely subscribe to all of our podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Definitely subscribe to the Q&E Media page. That is QANDEmedia.com. The Twitter is QE Media, and the Instagram is QANDE Media. And we appreciate you guys for listening. And we out. Peace.